Williams is here with us. Today is a bittersweet day, I would say.
Mixed for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. It's it brings to a sort of a close of 10 plus years at the Collins Center. I will say, people may know, but it's been 40 years at the university, including my time as a student.
Wow.
Now,
Yes.
I will say, I'm going to stay on as a faculty, adjunct faculty member doing the Black Bear Men's Chorus.
Which you founded.
Which I founded, and we're heading into our 25th season.
Incredible.
So I'm going to keep my toe in the water. But yeah, this is, I mean, it has been a ride, as you can imagine, and it is. I come to this moment and I come to this day certainly mixed.
Absolutely.
But I would say overall very grateful for the opportunity that I have had, along with an incredible group of teammates and workers, and some great experiences. That was Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees. That's Chubby Checker, and there I am. Pretending to ride a unicycle, and there I am with my boa.
The best boa.
And there I am, sort of looking like a Ghostbuster. Other duties as assigned: Mystery Science 3000. I loaded these pictures in to give you a sense of the breadth and the depth of, people ask me, what is it you do?
As the executive director, right, yes.
Right, what do you do? And I do a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Including, sometimes I have to, vacuum the cafe. That picture with the boa, I think, really epitomizes what it is that I do, because on any given day, on any given moment, I don't know.
Right.
And I was 2 months into the job at that point, and I was in a lobby with a big snake around my neck, and I thought, okay, this is the job. And then then it's out with Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees, and seeing legends like Chubby Checker. Yeah. The list goes on and on and on, and it's very hard to sort of pick one.
Absolutely.
Like, what's my favorite? There are moments that I will cherish and remember. But I think the most important thing for me is that I grew up at the University of Maine.
Absolutely.
I started there in 1986 as a student. The Maine Center for the Arts started at the University of Maine in 1986. We literally sort of grew up together.
It was meant to be.
In some ways it was. I was on the board for a long time. I started as a graduate student, and I know what this place means to our community. I know that it's a challenge on a good day, but I hope that as we head into our 40th season, that things will change. They always do, but that the core and the essence of the Collins Center for the Arts remains, which is bringing things to our community that you may not otherwise see. It may not be as commercially accessible or commercially successful, but it's so important for our community to see things like contemporary dance or opera or just things that you, again, ordinarily wouldn't see. The landscape has changed so much in Bangor since the Maine Center for the Arts came online, but I think Bangor, in many ways, has experienced a renaissance. When you think about the folk festival, or you think about the waterfront concerts and the symphony, and the Gracie Theater, and all of these at the Cross Center, all of these things that have come online. And I'd like to think that it was the Maine Center for the Arts that sort of was an experiment that went wildly right.
Absolutely, I believe so. I mean, the acts that you've gotten there are incredible. I remember seeing Lone Star there. Drove there in a snowstorm with Caitlin Burchell when she worked here, and we drove. We had to see it, and it was such an experience, an intimate, evening. Sitting there in the theater, and we just looked at each other like, this is really happening? This is incredible.
I got to tell you, that was March of 14. It was sideways snow.
Yes.
There were, I think, 200 people in the audience. It was my first show as the executive director.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not.
My goodness.
And I remember, because I remember sitting in the lobby, and I was exhausted. I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I had no idea what was going on, but I remember that show, because it was the first first show, and looking outside and watching the snow.
The snow,
go
it was
sideways.
unbelievable.
It was March of 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
we didn't plan that.
Yeah,
we
no,
didn't rehearse that.
We didn't, but that happens
That was
to be
really great.
And there are so many other stories, but I think what I really wanted to say is that nothing like this happens without an army of people.
Right.
And that goes not only for our wonderful staff and all the support at the university, but in the community. And I want to say, as I'm here at WABI, thank you for your support. WABI has been stalwarts for us, and have been really, it's been a great partnership, and I'm very grateful, and I hope to continue. I have
Yes, we can't. Yeah, you're not getting rid of us that easily.
Nor you me. I've got some ideas about how I can keep coming on to talk about the arts, because I think it's so important for our community, and it's something that I've committed and devoted my life to. So I appreciate the opportunity to come on and say nice things about this magnificent resource that we have, and that like anything that's important, it needs to be cultivated, it needs to be cherished, and it needs to be supported most of all.
Well, we will hold you to that, and I must say that every good team has a great leader.
I appreciate that.
So congratulations on your time as the Executive Director at the Collins Center for the Arts at UMaine, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
For sure.
And thank you all out there. Really appreciate it.